Hey everybody, welcome to Ellis Mowers. This will be actually a car repair video today. Hope to make it a quick one. When I researched on YouTube, I didn't really find too much on the method that I ended up having to use getting these Honda brakes off. This is a 2007 Honda Fit. It's got around 194,000 miles on it. I don't know when the last time the brakes were done. It was done before I was the owner of the vehicle. So let me show you what the bolts are supposed to look like, and you've seen that I've been doing some work on them. The bolts are just looks like little number 3 Phillips heads, except they're Japanese, the Japanese head type. I have tried an impact with a bit. I've tried this, or like an impact driver, battery powered. I've also tried this. I've broken 2 bits. I've already done the left side over here. Now the right side is a little bit of a different story. I kind of figured out what to do on the left side as opposed to the right side. So what I did on the left side was broke all them bits, but ended up putting the screws back in. This is what the screws are supposed to look like right here. This is I've completed this side already. And everything I saw was just, use the little impact tool to get these screws out. Use the impact tool to get the screws out. Well, I couldn't, like I said, I broke the bits of the impact tool, so I kind of was up a creek on that. An impact driver didn't work. So, and then the next step obviously was to drill it out. So the drill, these screws are so hard that putting a drill to them is just really time consuming. These rotors are warped. I will warn you, if you don't save the rotors, this method works, because as you can see what I've had to do. What I've done is take the angle grinder and ground around the rotor, around each screw here. So I've already done that one. I'm on the process of doing this one. What I've also got, and I'll get your tripod down here so that you can see what I'm doing, but what I also have got is a hammer and like a little spade chisel bit type deal. Now, all of them work. This method is working, so I wanted to share it with you because I haven't seen anybody else use it. Now, this is a 4-lug setup. I do not know if a 5-lug setup will work using this because your studs might be in the way. But here the studs are kind of away from it, so I can actually get all around the bolt and be okay. So what I've done is I've taken the angle grinder, and it's obviously ground some rust off. These rotors are done along with these pads. As you can see, we were just about to be grinding, if you know what I mean. So what I've done is I've taken the angle grinder and just gone around each side, and now I'm taking the spade bit and hammer to now that I've gotten it loose, and I'm just taking that and I'm just trying to loosen up the bolt a little bit, which I've been able to break it free. Obviously, and it's a slow process, but you get it out a few turns, and then what I usually do is I've just been kind of grinding around the rotor and getting it off. Getting it to where the head is completely off, and then I can use the hammer to beat it out. So I've got the caliper secured over here out of the way for the most part. And so I just taking the spade bit and just bumping it around. And usually I'll bump it around until it doesn't want to go anymore, and then I'll just kind of try and knock it in a little bit, and then use the angle grinder and then knock the rest of the head off. That's kind of the furthest I can get with that. So if I can kind of knock this little extra bit off, I've already done it on this side, so hopefully I've got enough room to get the bolt off, or to get the threads off. Then you can just take the, I'm not quite there yet, but I just keep kind of, like I said, I just keep kind of hitting the bit. So you see it's not really turning anymore. This is where I usually take my angle grinder and hit it with hit my angle grinder with it. So let me find my safety glasses. I'll be right back, and we'll grind this out and we'll hit it off. Let me show you my grinding pattern. Usually I just kind of went in a square or whatever. When I get to this point, I try and just kind of grind this little kind of extra piece off of the head that's still left. That way it only exposes the threads, and that way I can get the rotor off. And one other thing, this is your hub. Don't grind the hub, nor grind the studs. So be very, very careful when you do this. As I just wasn't. We should be pretty close. There we go. There we go. Phew. I'll tell you, that took a lot of grief and anguish. I just wanted to share that with you because I saw other ways about doing this, and I didn't see this way. Again, you're not going to save the rotor if you have to go this route, but if you want to spare yourself the fact of drilling things, trying to drill these bolts out and potentially compromising these threads and other things like that, then this is a viable option. Obviously, you want to try and keep the heat off of your hub and stuff like that. But I found that this is a pretty viable way to do it, doing these brakes, and honestly it was my last option. So again, I bought the screws. They're like a Dorman help. I found them at AutoZone. Pack of 8 was like $4 or $3.50 or something like that. You just have to hand tighten them with the number 3 bit, or I can't think of the Japanese specialty bit off the top of my head right now that I saw on another video. I'm going to take some vice grips and we'll get these threads off. And that's another aspect of trying to knock these loose before you get the rotor off, is that you should be able to take the vice grips and just turn the rest of it off here. That one's a little stubborn. It got caught on something, so let's try and finish this one off. Of course, the other side went easier than this side. Reset my vice grips. So anyways, you should be able to, if you can also probably put some lube on this and be better off getting these things off. But like I said, just use your vice grips. You'll be able to get them off eventually. You might need a little bit of lube to get them off as well. And like I said, of course, I do this, and it's gonna struggle on me, where I'm gonna have to do this the whole way. Here's the thing about doing brakes yourself. It will be a struggle, especially if this is the first time you do it. This is the first time I've done it. But I will do this off camera. I'll just show you the finished product since you kind of know how to take it off and put it back on, since you've probably already seen another video. And then we'll call it. Alright, we ended up finishing the assembly, putting it back on. I'm sure there are plenty of other how-to videos of how to do brakes on a Honda Fit. So I just wanted to share that little trick that I did in order to get those screws off. Again, the rotors were warped and I was not saving them. So you have to sacrifice the rotors if you're going to do that. But it saves you some drilling. So if you want to save yourself a little bit of drilling, don't mind breaking out the angle grinder. Again, on the 4-lug, I don't know if the 5-lug will impede with the screws or not. But if it does, that's why I'm just saying 4-lug only for this. If somebody wants to comment on this about 5-lugs, if this method works to where you can use an angle grinder, by all means, please do. Like I said, as long as you can get those screws started out with the like a little anvil end, or like a little pointed end and a pry bar, or pry bar and a hammer, then it makes it a little bit easier to get out with the vice grips. So I just wanted to share that. I hope that helps somebody out watching this video, and I hope it wasn't a waste of y'all's time. It's just a trick that I did there. Thanks for watching. You can follow my channel, Ellis Mowers, right here on YouTube. You can catch me at Ellis Mowers 09 on Instagram and Facebook for more lawnmower and even the occasional automotive related video. Catch you next time.